Right. PJ, it's a pleasure to have you back on the podcast today. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Good, good, good. Yeah, no, I'm really great, thank you. And yeah, no, it's just a pleasure to have you back on because it's like the third time I think you've been on now, and we
hmm
always have really good chats. And yeah, just kind of like recap and touch base, like how are things with you? You've been all good? Because I know like you're at school still, and you've also been putting a lot of work into your music management, and you've got a few friends who are heavily involved in music. Like, how's it all going for you?
it's going very well, and I'm, I'm pretty busy with music stuff right now. For a little bit, I wasn't, but I'm happy to say that I'm busy enough and I'm doing important enough things that some of them I actually can't say right now. So
Yeah,
um, we're things are happening, and um, possibly some big deals that people will see later. But I'm preparing for new clients and expansion.
yeah. No, that's
Mhm.
great. I love that, and I think like when we previously spoke, like you have this friend. I can't pronounce the name properly. Is it
Great,
Crap,
great. Yeah, he's my
Crepe,
artist.
Crepe? Yeah, I really like the snippets you put up on Instagram and the kind of music style. Like a lot of work goes into it. And I saw like you've been doing like a lot of nighttime shots, a lot of kind of
Yeah,
music episodes.
yeah. I got into doing a lot of photography with him. I never thought I'd like photography. Then he just needed some photos for Instagram, and I decided to pick up my dad's 12-year-old camera, and then I added something else to the list of things that I do, which is photography, and I really like it.
Yeah, no, it's awesome what you're doing. I think like with that, it's a very creative process, isn't it? And do you find that you have to kind of like keep on changing things? Like, where do you kind of get the ideas from? You're like a team of people you work with, and you kind of decide on what you're going to do, how you're going to do it.
You mean my photography ideas?
Yeah, like when you do the photography and when you do the music videos and that kind of thing.
I mean, for photography, the way the way I come up with ideas is, I guess it seems kind of like I have to go through a little bit of an arrogant thinking process, thinking like, oh, photography is easy. I'm smart enough to do photography. And then that gives me enough confidence to use whatever ideas pop into my head. And then I try to make them work.
Yeah. No, I
So
love that. And I think, yeah,
yeah, I have to be maybe kind of counterproductive and being a little arrogant in order to get the confidence to go through with my ideas.
yeah. I think in that field, and I think sometimes like in life, you kind of have to kind of go with that kind of mental kind of attitude as like, I'm just
Yeah.
going to do it. I'm just going to do it. And, I kind of know what I'm doing, but I kind of might, I'm just kind of learning as you're going along, if that makes sense. Kind of pushing out your comfort zone and just experimenting.
Yeah. Yeah. I really like the concept of like the crazy artist, or, in movies or TV shows, they'll always have the crazy director who is
Yeah.
obsessed and wants his film to be perfect and will stop at nothing. And he screams at all of his actors and people on set to get it perfect. And I like to be like that sometimes. And I can't really be like that as a manager because the music artists, I let them be the crazy artists. But when I'm the
Mm.
photographer, I do it because I get to be the crazy artist and I get to tell people what to do and have all of it be my ideas instead of someone else's.
Yeah. That's it. And I think you want to get it right, don't you? I mean, like you want to get that perfect shot or that perfect take. And
Yeah.
you must see it in your mind as well, how you kind of want it to pan out, how you kind of want to paint it.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. And that's why it can be frustrating too if I'm so dead set on something and then it doesn't work like that, then it gets tough. But
Yeah. Like what would you say? I mean, not to I don't want to put you on the spot now, but I've just got this kind of question in my mind. What would you say you've learned in the process of doing this and getting into this? 'Cause I remember like when we first spoke, I think you were just kind of starting out, getting into it. Like from when we first spoke, like
doing photography.
yeah, like photography and music and the whole kind of that kind of process, like things you've learned.
Oh, well, I've been doing music for a few years now, but you're right. It's only been super serious recently with photography. I mean, this is kind of cliche, but I learned that I can do anything I put my mind to. Just things are easier than I thought, right? Photography, like you always think it's something that's pretty hard. Like, oh, I can't be a photographer. I don't know how to frame the shot or whatever. But I just, when I went for things that I liked to look at, and didn't stop until I was satisfied, I realized, oh, this is all photography is, just making things look good. And then it wasn't that hard. With music, it's kind of the same thing. The main thing I've learned is if you want to do something, it's pretty easy to just do it. Just if you want to find something else, Google it, find a YouTube video.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of concepts and fields of work that don't require too much depth of learning. Of course, you can go to college to learn high-level calculus and stuff about space and gravity and physics or whatever, but a lot of things that are more practical than that are super easy to learn.
Yeah, no, I really agree with you. And I think, people can learn on YouTube, you can read books, you can see what other people are doing. And I think, like you said, like music's very practical and for photography, and that can be applied, to what you're doing. And I think as well, like you're doing something that you love and enjoy. And I think that's really highlighted in, the work that you put out. And, from what I've seen since, we've been friends, there's a lot that goes into it. And do you how do you, like, when I know you're probably limited in some of the things that you can talk about, with the music and stuff. But like, how do you create like the projects? Like, do you write it down? Do you plan it, or do you just sometimes, like you say, go with the flow?
I'll just have a general plan when I like if there's a project, it all starts from one thing I think would be cool, one small thing I think, oh, this might work, and then from there, any other details would just come from the natural process of me trying to get it to work. And usually some adjustments I have to make just to get it to work can also make it more interesting and add more details to the project. So for example, photography, it's easier to explain. Music, it's a little more complicated because projects in music are longer and
there's so much that goes.
Harder. Yeah. But in photography, it's kind of easy to explain, where if I let's say I'll see another picture and it has a light behind someone, it has them backlit, and then they use a filter to make the light reflect a certain way when they're backlit. And all it takes is just that small concept. And then, I just think to myself, I can do that. And then I go and do it. And then I mess up. Now I can't do it. And then I have to change it. And then because I change it, it actually looks better than I thought it would, because I had to change it and adjust.
I think that's really crucial what you just mentioned, and really key, and that's what a lot of people don't always see. They see the music video, the photo, the podcast episode, or whatever it may be, and people don't always see the process of getting that, the mistakes, the time that goes into it, the readjustments of it, all of these things kind of like a part of that process, aren't they? And that takes time, patience, discipline, hard work. And I think like you have to go through that, don't you? Like, in like you said, with the music or the photo, something doesn't go right, you have to, like, be accountable, don't you? You have to, say to yourself, okay, let's try something else, or let's try again. You have to be so accountable for, like, when you're doing that.
Yeah. And it's interesting that most people don't show how much work they put into it, because most of the time that's what the audience wants most. I mean, you can make a cool music video and they're gonna like the music video, but because it's just so much more rare, people are going to be a lot more intrigued by a behind the scenes and showing this shot wasn't originally supposed to be like that. That's why it's so cool for us to hear, like, when they interview actors and they say, oh yeah, this scene in the movie was actually improvised because I forgot my line. Like that's the coolest part. It's cooler than the
Mm.
actual part in the movie itself, you know? So that's why we released a lot of behind the scenes, and we released a documentary about what we do, because we thought, I mean, the way we work and how we got things done and how we got here is more impressive than the actual things we did.
Yeah, that's it. And there's so much time that goes on behind the scenes. And then it's crazy because, like, like yourself and other people who make clips and music videos, they're like, some can be sometimes 3 minutes 30 or around, that benchmark of 3 minutes to five. But so much time has gone into that couple of minutes.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, 3-minute music video can take up to 50 hours. You know, we spend 9-12 hours filming and then 30 hours editing. Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. And I think, like you said as well, that improvising, like people like that. People like to see the behind the scenes of how things are made, because you don't always get to see that, obviously in the movie. And I've seen clips of you guys are like, with cameras and everything like that. And, like a lot must go into it because, like, you think of like, you probably, I don't know if you do this, but like the clothing people are wearing for the video, how they look, the time of day, probably the weather conditions. Probably you might go to a place to shoot a video, and then you've got kind of all these external kind of is it parameters or challenges?
Yeah. Yeah. We show a lot of those.
Yeah,
If you see our behind the scenes and our documentary, we talk about problems we ran into, and I mean, even problems bigger than just a cloudy day. You know, we had
yeah,
our we had our videographer leave us for a few months, and we couldn't release some videos. Like that's a big obstacle. I
yeah,
mean, we planned on putting money behind the videos and using them to get more fans. So there's big obstacles that we had to
mm.
overcome.
Yeah. I think that's one of the things, isn't it? Like in that industry, in music and film, in general life, there's always going to be like these kind of curveballs kind of thrown at you, and it's how you kind of move around that and don't let them kind of stop you. I mean, obviously, if you videographers, you know you have to, that's different, isn't it? But other things may happen, and you just kind of
Yeah,
have to either wait it out or kind of not let it stop you.
that's actually my favorite part about it. I mean, it seems like you would be annoyed by everything constantly going wrong, but because literally every single thing you do will have something go wrong, that's what
Mm.
makes it good. I mean, we've had songs that we thought this is the best song we could ever make. Like if we don't get this out right now, this is going to be a problem, right? And then all of a sudden there's a delay and it can't get mixed and we can't get it into the distributor and we can't get the other artist who is supposed to feature on it. And then we realize after we fix all those problems, we've created something better and we did even better than we thought we could.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. It's like, all those things that might be going wrong and all the things that you keep having to go over, over that time, by changing it, by kind of going over it and going through all those hoops and like obstacles. You kind of make that final product, probably better compared to probably like the last time when you maybe
Yeah.
tried. And yeah, I think I found that with doing some podcasts sometimes. I had to rerun them sometimes because the connection didn't work, and then the one I did second time round was better than the first one. So yeah, I think it's so key, just to, I think a lot of it, would you say, is your mindset. You kind of have to have a your mindset in the right place to kind of keep on moving forward, and keep on, because a lot of it must be communication with the people you're working
I mean,
with, a
yeah, I
lot
mean,
of, a lot
that's
of trust.
mindset that is true without question. You have to be thinking correctly. And especially in music, you cannot just think that something's a dead end because I mean, it's the entertainment industry is very, very interesting. You
Mm.
can't just abandon a project once people know about it. You know, like let's say
Yeah.
I'm a paperclip company, right? And we run into a problem. We can't build a new paperclip factory. We can just stop building the factory, right? In music, you can't do that. I mean, you have people with reputations,
Mm.
and you're absolutely done if you don't release something that the fans want, and if you don't continue to keep yourself in people's minds and keep your reputation up, promise them or give them what we promised. So that's why it's really forces you to have a mindset that helps you overcome challenges.
Yeah, definitely. And I think like as well, like, it's your reputation, isn't it? And if you're working with people, they may be representing you, you're representing them, and they can say one thing that gets said to someone else, and then before you know it, they're like, oh well, don't work with XYZ because of XYZ happened, and all of that. It's kind of like very probably close knit as well.
Yeah, I mean that is a separate thing, but that's also true.
Yeah, and
very, very, very connected business.
Mm.
Because you need to work with other people. You can't be. No one's self-sustaining. Even the largest music group in the world depends on other people to do some work.
Yeah, no, definitely. And where, like your documentary you mentioned, like where can people find that again? Because I remember you mentioning it on your Instagram like a while back.
Can you still see me or no?
It's gone off now. The call. I mean,
Oh,
the
I
video's
see.
gone
Hold
off.
on. I'm just checking real quick.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, you could. It's linked in my Instagram.
Okay.
So anybody who wants to see it, it's 16 minutes, and we talk about how we've done everything for the past 2 years. It's me, Crepe, and Zach, who's our videographer.
No, that's awesome. I'll definitely check it out like this evening.
Thank you.
And I'll if you want me to, I can always record snippets and promote that on my side.
No, that's all right. That's all right.
Yeah, but no, I'll definitely mention it and I'll definitely send it to people. And I really,
Thank you.
You're welcome. And like, I was just thinking as well, like, is there any kind of artists that you like? I remember, I think I asked you last time, but is there any new artists that you look up to, like recently? Is there any like new artists that you kind of been getting into?
Yeah, I'm trying to think about that. I mean, I've been listening to a lot of Kanye. Not just because I like his music, but I like how Kanye is. He does whatever he wants. I mean, as soon as he thinks something, he says it, which gets him into trouble. But he's the true crazy artist. I mean, he does not stop to get out his message, and I mean, he does anything to get exactly what he wants, and he also does new things as soon as he wants them, right? If another music artist had an idea that they wanted to design shoes or design houses or design an amphitheater, they wouldn't be able to do it, right? But Kanye, he thought, oh, I want to build an amphitheater, and he just built it. He's went and built it, and then he thought, oh, like poor kids need shoes. I need to fix this. He just made it. He made it. He didn't hesitate, and then he decided, oh, I want to be president. Just and he ran for president.
Yeah.
I just like how he acts on everything he wants.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, isn't it? I think that seems, like you said, crazy to some people, but it's kind of like, not crazy if you think about it when you break it down. Like, he's just being creative and thinking about stuff he wants to do. Oh, I'm going to go do that. Why can't I create that? It's a bit like Kevin Hart, like, why can't I
exactly? Yeah.
Why can't I do this?
Yeah, I mean, it's a problem that people think that is like a crazy concept. People should realize that that's how it should be for everybody. If you want to do something, go and do it. There's so many problems with people thinking they can't do something that they don't.
Yeah.
So I hope more people take just look up to Kanye and realize they can do whatever they want. Obviously, Kanye is not perfect, but in that sense, he is.
Yeah, in that sense, in a sense of his mindset of just kind of acting on things that he wishes to do.
Yeah.
And I think like like a lot of people in the music industry face a lot of pressure. A lot of artists. I mean, it is quite a competitive or very competitive industry, isn't it? And I think like you said, people instead of thinking about what people are going to think about them, I mean, there's a lot of challenges and a lot of hoops, you have to jump through, isn't it, if you want to create something, especially in the music industry or in podcasting or whatever it is. Because I think a lot of people might compare themselves to other people. They might have people say, "Oh, it's not going to work out," because when you say, if someone's like, "I'm going to be, a best-selling artist," a lot of people can think, well, okay, that's very, far from where you are now, but it doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was just thinking as well, like when I don't know if I asked this to you when I first met you, I can't remember, but did you always kind of want to go into that music? Like I think
No, but I mean, almost. I never really had any other serious career that I wanted to go into. I'm just not really
yeah,
counting when I was in 5th grade and wanted to do this, whatever, just because I thought it was cool. So it's definitely the first serious thing I wanted to go into, and I've stuck with it since about 8th grade.
yeah.
You know,
No, I love that,
so
and as well, like just to, like recap my memory, like how old are you again?
I'm 16. I'm turning 17 this month.
Wow. No, I love that, and I think like like you said, you know, sometimes people, may think, because of my age, I might be too young or whatever, that it's not the case.
Well,
Like you're nearly 17, you know what I mean?
yeah,
And you're in, in the music, getting into the music industry and management, and you're starting early, and it gives you all this experience and that advantage, over someone who's probably starting out, at a later date, and you've got all this time and documentation, of all this work. So I mean,
yeah, yeah.
I love that. I love what you're doing.
I say it a lot, but I can't wait to. I mean, if I ever go to apply for a company in the music business, I can't wait to tell them when I'm 20 that I have 7 years of experience, or when
Yeah,
when I'm 35, I get to say I have, what is it, like 22 years of experience. And they
yeah,
do the math in their head and they're like, you started when you were 13? Yes, I did.
yeah.
Yes, I did.
No, that's it. That's it. That's what it's all about. And I just, this is like really off topic, but recently, like I've been listening to like Juice World.
Yeah.
Are you ever into Juice? Was you ever
Music.
into Juice World's music?
Yes, I have been. Hmm.
Yeah, I just recently got into his music. My little brother actually showed me him, and I got into his music, and I can't stop listening to him. Like he's I mean, it's sad that he's gone, but I mean, what a talented guy, and the freestyle. Did you ever see his freestyle videos?
Oh yeah, I mean that's one of the most impressive parts
Oh,
about him, the hour-long freestyle.
and he would
And
write 7 songs a day or something like that.
I mean, yeah, when he died, I think he had around 2,000 songs stored up. Like, they're obviously not all completed, but
Yeah,
I mean, if you do the math, it makes sense. It's your job, right? So you're in the studio for 8 hours a day, and if you can just make a few songs a day, it really adds up over a few years.
wow. Yeah, his music's crazy. Like a lot of it, like very very deep. Very very deep. There's songs like if you really listen to some of it, you can really he kind of puts how he was feeling, into his music, and I think that's one of the things that a lot of artists do, and it's a very good outlet, isn't it? It's a very good way. It's probably therapeutic for a lot of artists. Kind of expressing how they're feeling and putting that into a song and
Yeah,
helping other
yeah,
people relate to it.
yeah. Music is interesting because um, I guess it's similar to poetry, but it's the clearest way to show feelings through art. I know all art could show feelings, but it's
Mm,
a lot harder to look at a painting and get the exact emotion and their thought process, right? I mean, you can kind of tell
yeah,
blue is sad and orange is happy, whatever, but music and poetry, well, I mean, music is poetry most of the time. With
Yeah,
lyrics,
yeah.
it's the best way to show emotions because you can say sentences and you can add music to that.
Mm,
It's the clearest way to show emotion.
that's it. And there's almost like I won't get too deep into this, but there's almost like an energy with music. You know, like the frequency with music. It can really
Hmm.
make it can really, you know, it can affect your emotional state, if that makes sense. How you feel, you know, when you hear
Yeah,
certain songs or listen to certain music. Um, you know, even the lyrics in some songs, like some music I like to listen to, but I can only listen to so much because it's like heavy. You know, like a lot of this, I like old school kind of hip hop from the '90s.
yeah.
You know, like American hip hop,
Hmm.
and I love it. But after a while, some of it's like pretty heavy, and I'm like, I need to like change that. Do you find that with music? Do you kind of get into it,
I
and you
mean,
have to be in the right
of
state
course,
sometimes?
I couldn't be in this business if I didn't absolutely love music. You know, um, you know how you get goosebumps when either you're super excited or something's really amazing.
Yeah,
Music is the only form of art that can give me goosebumps. I can't look at a painting or see a movie without sound and
yeah,
get goosebumps. Like it, only music can make me feel that good. Can
yeah,
give my body an actual reaction, a physical reaction.
yeah. No, definitely. I really relate to that, and I think it's so powerful, isn't it? You know how you can watch a scene with something happening, and then that music going along with it as well.
Yeah. Hmm.
Um, I was thinking of another. Do you ever like? Have you ever heard of Joyner Lucas? Have you seen his music?
I have heard of him. Yeah, I haven't listened to a lot of his stuff, but
Yeah.
I've heard him before.
You know, when you see certain artists like blow up, it just shows you that you know it is possible. You know, what if someone else has done it, why can't you know someone else kind of do it? You know, it's if you, I think if you want something bad enough, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and not always if you want something bad enough, right?
Yeah,
Especially in music, you can't just work hard, but you also have to
yeah,
spend some time making your music good.
yeah,
You also have to not just work hard at promoting your music, but work hard at making good music and making sure that people will like it.
yeah,
But it's still all work. It's still
yeah.
all work. There's no way you can survive on just talent. It's obviously
That's it.
all work.
I think it's that balance as well, isn't it? You know, looking after your health, you know, your mindset, you know, your energy, trying to balance all of that. And especially when you see these artists and they're on tour and they've got to be, you know, all these places. I mean, a lot of the time people do that, then they have a break, you know, they chill out, and
Yeah.
then, but, you know, I won't go off topic too much, but I was watching Elvis, his old content from years ago with my mum today. And, you know, he was like just an absolute, like, all his energy, you know, into what he was doing. And, you know, I mean, it's a different time then to what it is now. But like you see, you know, all his passion going into the songs and his energy and drive, and
Yeah.
it like it. You know, you see a lot of music artists, and they kind of like not self-destruct, but I don't know, is that the right word? You know, they kind of get so kind of caught up into that whole lifestyle, and there's so much going on. So you have to probably be able to kind of know yourself and try and have that time. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? To have that
Yeah. I
balance.
mean, you see a lot of rappers, especially that just start doing drugs because they've never had the money for them, right? They start doing drugs
Mm,
and they don't think they have any responsibilities, right? Because they have all this money that they're not used to having, and then it just ruins them. And usually those are the ones that don't really love doing music. They just love the money they got from it.
yeah,
So, I mean, being an artist, especially a touring artist, is one of the hardest jobs ever. And the only reason people can do it for so long and actually live with it is not just because of the money, just because they really, really like it. I mean,
yeah,
you can go through anything if you really, really like doing it.
yeah. No, I love that. Definitely, definitely. And I was just thinking as well, like, is there any projects that you can mention? Is there anything that you can talk about in regards to like music? Um, I know it's
Well, I'm looking at artists to manage,
Yeah.
new artists to manage, right? And we are recording lots of music. Don't know when it'll be released yet, but
Yeah.
I can't give too many specifics right now because
Yeah. Of course,
very
that's
important.
fine.
But
Yeah.
we're working harder than ever right
Yeah.
now, and things are gonna go well.
Yeah. No, I love that. And, I'll always, support you in what you're doing. I think you're doing a great job. And, it's really, really inspiring, that you're doing something that you love and enjoy, alongside everything else that you're doing. And,
Yeah.
you're pursuing something that you're happy about, doing, and you want to create it and make it something which you're doing. And, you're not looking at what other people are saying. You're doing your grind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I definitely wouldn't do this if I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 16. I have no reason to work this hard on something, right? I can
Yeah.
just get good grades and go to college and live regularly, but I just really, really like it, so I can't stop.
Yeah. No, I think you and your friends and your um group of people that you work with, going places, and I'm really grateful, to be able to have these conversations with you and kind of see you on your journey and what you're doing. It's really nice.
Now, you two out of it's number 74 in the UK. That's impressive. Like that's double digits. Soon it'll be single digit, and then
Yeah.
number one.
Yeah. No, thank you, man. No, I really appreciate it. And yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed.
All right. Well,
And say,
good luck with that. Thank you very
yeah,
much.
yeah. No, cheers, man. And no, you're welcome. And, same to you as well. And yeah, and I was just wondering, where can people find you on like social media, kind of Instagram?
Yep. Instagram at PRUSCHE. That's my main platform. And right now I'm posting photography. When I have music stuff, I'll post stuff on there. And it's just how I update everybody on what I do.
Yeah. No, awesome, man. And do you have like an email if anyone needs to like get in touch, or is Instagram not the best way?
Yeah. rousche PJ, ROUSCHE PJ at Gmail.
No, awesome.
Any ideas for me? Anybody can contact me there.
Is that at
send me a DM on
gmail.com?
Instagram.
Is that at gmail.com?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome, man. No, PJ, it's been a pleasure talking to you again. And
you too.
I wish you all the best in what you're doing.
Thank you very much. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Take care. Take care.